whatever his plan was, it wasn't good because he tried to take me somewhere else from where I was planning to go.
Sometimes I find myself looking at other people that are talking loud too, and like, why are you talking?
And actually, when you see people kissing or making out, it's very shocking. Like at this point, I'm like shocked when I see it. I'm like, oh, why are they doing that here?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jin. Today I'll be asking people if there's anything very natural in their culture but not accepted in Korea, or something people should be aware before they come to Korea. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get started. Is there anything you shouldn't do in Korea?
I think small talk with strangers is not a normal thing to do here. And in fact, it's, I think, a bit strange. People will be maybe a little creeped out if you talk to them more than the necessary. In the US and in Mexico, it's very common to just kind of start talking about the weather, or how are you, or something like this. But here, it's not normal at all.
Just not talking too loud in the subway. People tend to speak very loud, like foreigners maybe. That's what I usually listen to. Koreans don't really talk, or if they do, they kind of whisper among themselves. Sometimes I find myself looking at other people that are talking loud too, and like, why are you talking? So yeah, you kind of get used to it and you're kind of joining the other people.
You have to be on time. Like, we have this thing called African time. I don't think it's supposed to be done in Korea. Yeah, because we can be an hour late. Everybody will be like, that's fine. But in Korea, they tell you 9, you have to be there like 8:45, something like that. Yeah.
That's very true. Like in Korea, like Korean people usually arrive in 5 minutes before or at time.
10 minutes, yeah.
5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're good practices, I think. I think it's one of the things that we can learn from.
First thing I can think of is that Koreans usually stand in line everywhere. For example, if you want to take the subway and it's arriving, everyone lines up in front of the entry.
Yeah.
And in Germany, we usually just stand around like in crowds in front of the entry. And here also, like, everyone is very polite and moves to the side to let people walk out.
Yeah.
And in Germany, I guess it's a little less formal, like people just go in. When I first came here, I didn't know about it. So the first time I took the subway, I just noticed people lining up, but I didn't really think anything of it. So I just stood somewhere and I had a really hard time actually making it into the subway in time because the line kind of like cut me off. So the entrance was like right in front of me, but people were moving in line and I couldn't get in. So that was kind of hard.
Okay.
I would say one big thing is when it comes to talking with strangers. There is very little to no small talk here, no matter in which situation you are. I think in Germany it's a little different. People are also not open to small talk, but they usually don't mind it. But here, if someone tries to do small talk to you, you should be careful because there is a tendency to have a different motive behind it, I would say.
Yeah, that's very true. Do you have any story about this?
Yeah, when I arrived here and I went to the subway with all my baggage from the airport, I had a guy who conveniently dropped his bottle next to me, and he tried to start talking to me and asking me where I was from, and even tried to speak in very broken and old German, which was kind of weird. It was explained to my friends later that whatever his plan was, it wasn't good because he tried to take me somewhere else from where I was planning to go. In these situations, you should be careful if people start talking to you.
Yeah. Mostly, like, they try to make you believe in something, like some religion or something, right?
Yeah, I heard that as well. Also, usually if people are standing around with, for example, pen and paper and the kind of stuff, they also pretend to do an interview, but they also want you to come with them often. Maybe one more thing is if you're here with your partner, you should be careful with showing too much affection in public, because I think usually like holding hands, maybe hugging is still fine, but at least in Germany doing like a normal, like a short kiss is fine, but here I think it's a bit frowned upon. So anything more than like going arm in arm should be maybe avoided, I would say.
Is there anything very natural in your country but not accepted in Korea? Is there anything you want to share?
Well, the first thing is like on public transport, you cannot be very loud. in Germany it's okay to like maybe chat with your friends, like don't scream, but like chatting is okay. But even that, like sometimes I'm in the subway and people are like so quiet. It's like eerie. Like I feel like in a movie, like why is there no noise at all besides the subway? And there's like, for example, pink seats on a lot of like the subway cars, and those are for pregnant people or people who maybe have like some disability. So the pregnant ladies get like a little tag, like a pink tag they can put on their bags from the doctor so that they can sit in those seats. So unless like you really have an issue with your legs, you shouldn't sit down because they're reserved, and even if the subway is super full, people wouldn't sit down. And then in the end of every cart there's like those 3 seats on each side reserved also for people who are elderly or have disabilities or those kind of things, and people respect it. Like I've only once or twice seen people actually sit down and use it besides elderly people. And then the second one that a lot of people make as a mistake is the pedestrian light, like at a crosswalk, like when people press the button. But actually you shouldn't do that unless you're disabled or maybe blind, because an officer will come and guide you over the street. So it's very helpful, but I don't think any foreigner knows that. Like I didn't know. I just never pressed it because the light was always green, so why would I press it? But I think I would have even made the mistake. But a friend then one time pointed it out and I was like, oh yeah, I knew that obviously. Oh, you shouldn't do like a lot of PDA. Like you can hold like your partner's hand or like be together and stuff. Like those things are okay, but like kissing is also okay, but most people don't do it. And like you can see couples cuddling up to each other, but besides the cuddling up to each other, nothing else happens. And actually when you see people kissing or making out, it's very shocking. Like at this point I'm like shocked when I see it. I'm like, oh, why are they doing that here?
So you already got used to it?
Yeah, I'm not used to it, seeing Korean couples like making out, so I get very like startled. I'm like, that's bold.
Yeah, true. This is it. Okay. And thank you for your interview and thank you for your time. Yeah. And have a good day today.
Yes, thank you, you too.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.